This is FSPN, the most trusted name in fake news. I'm Frankie from Flatbush. We got the Frankie ticker. We got the logo switcher. We got it all going on, and it is Friday. It is high. It is far. It is Friday, December the 19th, 2025. We had a presser for your old New York Jets, and we didn't learn too much, but we learned a little. So let's talk about it. We got a docket right here. Media Watch, not too much on the Media Watch stuff. We got a lot of stuff on the ticker about the media, but so we learned today from Aaron Glenn that Brady Cook will start again, but the backup is TBD. So it looks like Brady Cook for the rest of the year. Good opportunity for Mr. Cook to show that he can stay on an NFL roster. Got to stop with those interceptions, Mr. Cook. Thank you very much. But, and you know, interestingly about Brady Cook, he had like the longest streak of passes thrown in SEC history without an interception. Just goes to show you, even with the SEC, it's such a huge leap to the NFL. So hopefully he can cut down on those and show that he can, you know, maybe be a backup. That would be a huge success story for Mr. Brady Cook. It was also announced that Garrett Wilson will be out for the year. No surprise there. No real reason to bring Garrett back. Injury-shortened season after 3 or so complete seasons. I don't think he ever missed a game until this year. So, well, might as well get him 1,000% healthy for next year. See you next year, Garrett. They asked Aaron Glenn, the media did, about the linebacker play. What's going on with those linebackers? And, of course, this was highlighted by Ross Tucker on the broadcast. So, a lot of people have this on their mind, and I thought he had a good answer to it. One aspect that was not talked about and that people should keep in mind, one of the reasons that linebackers are super aggressive on play action is because they're trying to compensate for poor defensive line play a lot of the time, meaning they're not confident the defensive line can keep the running back sort of in a neutral state for the amount of seconds. We're talking about 1, 2, 3 seconds here. That they need to make sure that it's an actual handoff, and so they're being aggressive in their run fits, and so when it is a play action, now they're screwed, throw it over their heads. And so a lot of this goes back to what I keep talking about almost every freaking broadcast, but this is the reason why you should subscribe to this channel. Hit the subscription button down below, because if you had been subscribed all this time, you would already know that our defensive line was no bueno from the very start. Now, we improved it a little bit at the end of training camp with a couple of trades we made with Briggs and Phillips, but it's still not good enough. We never upgraded the edge position. We never upgraded really the backup defensive tackles. We were hoping maybe Mozzie Smith could develop into something, but he hasn't even been active. So that's a sort of insight and information you would get from this channel, and probably this channel alone. One of the few anyway. So go ahead and hit the subscribe button. If you don't want to do that, how about a like? If you like the video, I would appreciate it. But that is, so we need to rebuild that D-line. We need to also get better linebacker play in general too. It's not outrageous to think the linebackers haven't played as well. They haven't. But people also forget how big the loss of C.J. Mosley was, and nobody talks about C.J. Mosley. It's like this defense went from we lost C.J. Mosley, and we lost JFM, and we lost Bryce Huff, and we lost all these people. It's not the same defense. I mean, C.J. Mosley is a Hall of Famer, and he was the brains of the operation. If you remember, there was one game where he called a play that we never even practiced. The coaches had no idea what he was doing, and he called this, I don't know what it was, he called some coverage or something, and it worked. And Saleh was like, thank God we have that guy. He's calling things we didn't even practice, and turns out right. And a good thing to do, because it prevented, something bad from happening. So C.J. Mosley was the brains of this operation. Now, what we learned, we were hoping that Sherwood could take over that way, and then we learned no. He's probably better to just chase and tackle. We need to get somebody in here with who can handle that job a little bit better. So But it's odd. Nobody even mentions C.J. Mosley anymore. It's like he didn't even exist. It's very strange. His shoes were always going to be hard to fill. That's why I kept hoping maybe he'll come back, maybe, and then he was too injured, couldn't do it, getting up there in age, and unfortunately for us, he couldn't hang on for another year or two because, boy, is he sorely missed, along with a bunch of other people. But hopefully they address that this offseason. Now, Mason Taylor also not going to play in this game, but not done for the year, so it would be nice to see Mason Taylor return next week, and AG seemed confident that he would do so. It'd be nice to see him back. Now, rosterings. You may have missed some of the rosterings this week. Payton Page made the 53-man. This is someone who's on our practice squad, speaking of defensive line. Let's watch old Payton Page. He's going to be number 69 on your screen, number 1 in your hearts, and maybe 69 can do something. Let's watch him. It'd be nice if we could get defensive tackle 4 or 5 onto this roster before the offseason starts. So let's keep an eye on Payton Page. Most likely he's not going to do anything, but it would sure be nice. Tony Adams is out for the year. And by the way, you can get a roster copy. All of the Inner Circle members have a copy of the roster up to date with all of the moves, where are we at, and we post it up there, and you can also access the file. But you can only get that if you're an Inner Circle member, so click the Inner Circle join button down below. The join button down below. We got price tiers to fit any budget. So if you want extras like that, go ahead and do that. Now, we also added a quarterback named Hendon Hooker to the practice squad, and you may remember he was a third-round pick out of Tennessee, and you may be wondering, is he any good, Frankie? Well, if you recall back when we were thinking about who we're going to sign before we signed Justin Fields, one of the names that people were floating around was Hendon Hooker. Maybe we could make a trade for him. Well, so I went and looked, and it's not good news. I watched all the preseason games that he played with Detroit because that's when he did get playing time, and he did not even look good in the preseason games. Now, anything could happen. Development, you never know. But in those preseason games for the Detroit Lions, Hendon Hooker did not look like he was a competent NFL quarterback at all. So my sense of it is we would have loved to have Adrian Martinez back, but Martinez scooted back to San Francisco. He's been back and forth. You should have just stayed here, if you want my opinion. We got we got a confederacy of dunces over here. They got at least 2 competent quarterbacks there. What are you going back to San Francisco for? Got a much better chance of playing over here with this squad. Mart. But when we cut him, we got to do some roster maneuverings. He decided, I'd rather go back to San Fran, I guess. So we probably would have preferred to have him on the practice squad, but since he left, we went with this Hendon Hooker, but I wouldn't expect too much out of Hendon Hooker at this point in time. So that's it for rosterings. Late breaking news and NFL roundup. So the latest in the NFL news, it's Friday. There's going to be NFL games tomorrow on Saturday. Oh, and by the way, we're getting the college football playoff starts tonight, Friday night, and we're going to have a live stream right here on this channel. So if you want to join old Frankie, we're going to watch Oklahoma, we're going to watch Alabama, and what we're rooting for really is for Ty Simpson to play lights out and to win and to continue to play lights out, so that way he thinks about coming into the draft, and maybe there's another first-round quarterback other than Mendoza. And we got to root for the same thing with Dante Moore. What we would want is Mendoza, Moore, and Simpson to be first-round QBs coming out. All these quarterbacks, all these other people, Josh Hoover, Darian Amensa, this one, that one, Sorsby, they're all going back to college. So it's going to make it a little to make it tough if Mendoza's the only one. So we're hoping for Moore. We're hoping for Simpson. Tonight, we'll watch Ty Simpson. We'll watch Johnny Mateer, who's probably also going back to college. But we'll watch the game together. Why not? We'll hang out. We'll chill. We'll have a little drinky drink, maybe. And we'll do our quarterback grading system. And you can see me grading quarterbacks live and in living color. There's nothing like it. But as far as the NFL is concerned, you saw a crazy 2-point conversion last night with our boy Sammy Darnold. And the Seahawks, Sammy Darnold did not have a good game, but he did have a good fourth quarter. And you can make up for a lot if you're the comeback kid. So happy to see Sam Darnold being successful. I am. I'm not one of these people who hates everybody who leaves the Jets. It's not what I do. And Sam Darnold did everything right when he was here, except didn't perform well. So I don't have any hatred or anything in my heart against Sam Darnold. He kind of is what he is. We'll see how his career goes, but he showed a lot of, I'll say this, he showed a lot of resiliency last night. And they were able to pull out that crazy win after that crazy 2-point conversion. It's a backward pass. This guy picked it up. Was it a continuation of the play? The whistle was already blown. That's also another crazy rule. There's so many rules we got to get out of this sport. I mean, so many. How does the whistle blow, but then they say, oh, the play continued? That's ridiculous. As soon as the whistle blows, the play should be dead. The whistle was blown. It would have continued. That's ridiculous. There's so many dumb rules, but according to the rules, Frankie, yeah, we got to change some of these rules. They stink. Some of these referees are just so bad. And if you want more on referee badness, check out my X account where I retweet a lot of things showing just how bad these refs are. They are so bad. And lots of other things. I think my X account is actually pretty funny, but a lot of you don't follow me on there. I noticed you out there, you don't follow on X. Maybe you're busy on Blue Sky. I don't know. But Puka Nacua was absolutely right about these stupid refs. He said these refs, they want to show off. They want to get on TV. And they're lawyers, during the daytime, which they are. And then they come to these games and they want to show off. And they want to say, look at me. And go into their group chat and say, hey, watch me call this one, buddy. They want their little 2 minutes of fame. That's what these refs are. And that's right. He was 100% right, Puka Nacua. Put up 200 yards last night, this guy, Puka. My goodness. But, he was right about that. Not right about doing an anti-Semitic whatever that was. He said he didn't know what was going on there, but that's not right. But he was right, he was right about the refs. He's right about running routes and catching a damn ball. And then he got fined. They fined him $25,000 or something. I mean, a man can't even tell the truth around here without getting fined. It's not right. And they got to fix these refs. They got to fix these refs. I will point out again, if you want to feel good about the refs, then get some F the Refs coffee right here. I don't get any money from Brandon Perna, but I'm happy to support anybody who puts out a coffee that says F the Refs. Go to benchwarmerbrew.com, benchwarmerbrew.com. They got a lot of merch over there, including some teas and things. They got some decaf, I think. So, but F the refs, because they're so bad. We need to rewrite the rules, make their job easier. We need to evaluate these people better and get rid of the poor performing ones and reward with money the high performing ones. That's how you do it. And then also have a pool of refs that, once you get rid of, you should always, in any job or whatever, you should get rid of the bottom performing 10% every year anyway. That's how you get the company better. Get rid of those 10%, bring in 10% new ones, and just keep evaluating, something like that. So that needs to be done. Now, let's see if there's any other late-breaking news. So for the Jets, looking like Tyrod Taylor will be QB2 is what the beat is saying now. Tyrod Taylor. Fields was limited today, told reporters doesn't he think he can play, so he's going to be inactive. Almost certainly if he told reporters he's not going to play, he's not going to play. But it looks like Tyrod will be QB2. So we'll have Cook and Tyrod. Questionable, yeah. So, and everybody we knew that was out. Adams is on IR. Kiko's out. Mason Taylor out. Eric Watts out. So that's unfortunate for Eric Watts. He's another guy who needs to make an impression to stay on the roster for next year. Now he's got a concussion, so that's bad for him. Breaking news, the Bills are planning to sign Matthew Judon. Boy. Well, the Bills are going to be an interesting-ass team this year. It's basically Josh Allen and James Cook and, Pray. So they're bringing in Matthew Judon, who did absolutely nothing for the Dolphins, and looked completely washed, but maybe he can do something. Who knows? Maybe they can get him some steroids. Okay. Steelers list T.J. Watt, Isaac Seumalo, and James Pierre as out for Sunday's game against Detroit. Those are big players for them. So we'll see how the fight in Aaron Rodgers is do in that one. And the main story that they're still talking about, Peter Woods is coming into the draft. He's not someone I particularly like for the Jets anyways. And those are the main headlines right now. Chiefs have a bunch of people out against the Titans. We want the Titans to lose, please. You know, a game we actually want the Chiefs to win, they'll probably lose because they don't have Mahomes. They're out of the playoffs. How about that? The Chiefs are out of the playoffs. That's weird. Travis Kelce has a quote on his future. I'd rather keep the focus on this team right now. All of the conversations I have with the team moving forward will be with them. It's a unique time in my life. I've got 3 games left, and I know when the season ends, meaning he's not going into the playoffs. All right. He's also engaged to Taylor Swift. We'll see if they actually get married. My money would be on no, but I didn't think they'd last this long. You got a moody, sad poet type with a heavy drinking frat boy, life of the party type. How's that going to work? I don't know, but life is crazy. Christian Darrisaw went on IR for the Vikings. Falcons lifts Drake London as questionable, expects him to play. So you may see old Drake London town coming to play football this weekend. There we go. So, and we'll watch Tyler Shuck against the Jets this weekend. Now, as I've been saying, I think that Tyler Shuck is a franchise quarterback, and you guys probably don't know. You probably don't watch Saints games very much, but we'll get a bird's eye view on Mr. Shuckaluck this Sunday, and you'll all see what I see, I think. Now, watch, you'll have a terrible game, but... All right, with that being said, let me know what you think about all this in the comment section down below. Please subscribe to the channel. Since now we're up to 1,000. Hey, thanks everybody for getting it up to 1,000. Now we can go for 10,000 because at 1,000 you exist in the eyes of YouTube, but at 10,000 you actually exist in the eyes of a lot of other powerful people, let's say. So let's get it up to 10,000. Got a long way to go. But thank you to everybody who did subscribe. We got up to 1,000, and that's really something. I'm Frankie from Flatbush. This is the Frankie from Flatbush show on FSBN for a Friday, and I'll see you tonight live and in living color as we watch the ball game. Why not? It could be fun. See you later.